Unfortunately, when you're manager of Southampton Football Club, some things just never change. Hey, what's up everyone? Johnnyman here and welcome back to Save Our Saints. Today is part 32. We are on the 4th season in charge of Southampton and still chasing a place in the Champions League despite some unfortunate, disappointing news. As I mentioned in the introduction, some things this won't change, and unfortunately Southampton, we've turned back into a selling club. My hands were forced and unfortunately we had to let go 4 very important players for us over the January transfer window. First big player to leave the club was a favourite of mine, Jeremy Toljan. I sold him to Wolves after a bit of pressure upon him to get a move away from the football club. He wasn't getting a lot of first team appearances behind Danilo. He was getting frustrated, and unfortunately that was turning into a negative dressing room atmosphere. You'll see a recurring theme of that as we progress through the transfers going now. But we sold him for 10.5 million, potentially rising to 15 to Wolves. Had a great time with us. Honestly, he was a superb signing. 4.2 million, absolute steal. He was always a consistent performer for us, no matter when he got the opportunity. I'm sad to see him leave. Now, this was the big one, Anthony Martial. Obviously, we didn't want to sell him. We really didn't want to sell him because he was such an integral part of our team, an integral part of the future. But unfortunately, I really had no choice in the issue. He basically forced his way out of the football club, caused a lot of problems back behind the scenes, and we sold him for around about £61 million after, basically £61 million after installments and bonuses, etc, etc. So he's gone to Manchester City. The 2 clubs that were majorly in for him were Chelsea, Man City and Inter Milan. Inter Milan never put a serious offer forward. Chelsea, I don't want to sell to them because they are our closest rival for that 4th and final spot in the Champions League. And Man City, they're unbeaten this season, so honestly we're not going to catch them. So Man City, I had to sell them to Man City because I felt like to be less damaging to us in the potentially near future. But whatever the case is, very sad to see Anthony Martial go. It was awesome getting a chance to manage him. Obviously, we're signing £51 million is our record signing at Southampton Football Club, and he largely performed for us. Kind of 10 goals and 47 appearances. I expected more, but at the same time, he was still a very important part of our team. So he will be missed, but unfortunately, I had to let him go. After that, yep, we sold another player to Liverpool, Issa Diop. Same situation as Martial. Unfortunately, he demanded a move to Liverpool as soon as he found that Liverpool were in for him. And in order to keep the dressing room semi on my side, I had to agree to let him go. And disappointingly, we signed him for £24.5 million, a slight profit from what we paid for him over the summer. And he scored 2 goals on his debut, so awesome. I'm very happy about that, as you can probably tell. But yeah, we had to sell Issa Diop to Liverpool here. Sad I didn't get to see his partnership really fully develop with Diallo. They formed a really nice partnership at the first half of the campaign, so I'm putting that behind him now. Obviously we have a decent number of players behind him getting a first team chance now. Wesley Hoyt's back in the first team. Mavropanos hasn't really had a look. We also have Furtado and Jermaine Stodico, obviously very promising young centre halves coming forward. So while Diop's a bit of a blow, at least we have players that can step in for his void. Alright, last but not least, Gustavo Scarpa. We spoke about him leaving anyway at the beginning of the transfer window in the last episode, and he finally got a move. We finally agreed to sell him on to Olympiacos here for about £15 million. Again, a bit of a profit from what we paid for him back in 2018, 2019, the end of the season. And he had a really good couple of seasons over, but this one he's really struggled in form and really struggled to take his chances and opportunities when they came. Unfortunately, Jack Grealish has been very good for me this season, so he wasn't getting a lot of playing time. So Gustavo Scarpa, we moved him on £15 million. Alright, and that's where the bad news ends. The good news is we signed Victor Wanyama for the rest of the season on loan from Tottenham. He'll be definitely give us extra options in midfield to compete with Gambin, Vecino, and obviously in DD. So it gives us a very good, strong core in the middle of a midfield. And obviously if it doesn't work out for me, then he's only on loan. We can definitely send him back to Tottenham if we need to. All right, here's a big signing. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, obviously, he is a big signing for the football club. He's signing for a discount price with Arsenal for £15.25 million. And this season's been kind of strange for him because obviously when the save started, he's been banging in goals, 21, 25, 23 goals respectively. And only this season, though, he hasn't really played a lot. He's only played 5 games in the league and got 2 goals to his name. But quite clearly, he's still a very talented player despite his age of 32 years old. We only signed him on a 1.5-year deal, by the way, £15 million. I thought he can come in, be a stopgap kind of player till we find a permanent replacement for Anthony Martial. But honestly, it's a really good signing. Excited to see what Aubameyang can do in a Saints shirt, and I feel like it could be a fan favourite as well. I'll have to see how he can impact the side. Obviously, he's going to compete with Erling Haaland for that space up top, but he can also play on the left wing and the right wing if need be as well. So regardless, it's a good, cheap signing that I think should please the fans and the at least the players for at least until the summer. Now, this was actually probably the biggest signing we had during the transfer window, apart from Aubameyang. Obviously, we had Julian Draxler. We got him on loan from Bayern Munich for the rest of the year. He's a natural inside forward. He can play on the left side of midfield. He can also play on the right side of midfield as well. He's both-footed, very talented, creative talent. Really good to have him in the squad. He's very versatile as well, as you can see. He's going to be an important player for us as we approach the end of the season, obviously in the Europa League and in the Premier League as well. It's a good replacement for Marcel for the rest of the campaign. Last but not least, we signed Dariusz Milkaz, a regen from Poland. He's actually played for Poland internationally, 18 years old, signing for a mere £2.1 million. He certainly has a decent amount of potential to him as well, potentially a 4.5-star player. Can also play in the middle of, he's attacking midfielder, can also play in midfield and on the left flank if necessary as well. It's definitely worth keeping an eye on his development this season. Now, future signings, I did sign what could be considered a super wonder kid, Patrick Zakouni. I signed him kind of as precaution, just in case Erling Haaland decided that he wanted to move at the end of the season. There are rumours from him that he wants to get out of here if we don't get into the Champions League this campaign. So if we don't quite complete our goal, which is getting the Champions League, Zakouni is going to come in a pretty cheap deal, £5 million, potentially rising to 20 over time. Hasn't really set League One alight this year, but you can all see the potential this guy has. He's knocked in 14 goals and 20 appearances for the French under-21 team, and he's wanted by a number of clubs throughout Europe. There's no shadow of a doubt this kid is going to be something special, and I'm delighted to get him on board, or at least guarantee his transfer in the summer. Alright, so that was all the transfers during the January transfer window, and this is how the month of January went to us. Obviously, after the Palace 2-0 win, we took on Tottenham. We beat them 2-1 at home. Anthony Martial's final goal for the football club, giving us an early lead there. Jeremy Toljan then getting the win in the 74th minute after Lucassen equalised for Spurs. This is a very good result as well, because Spurs are still a pretty decent side. They were 6th place in the table, going pretty strong, so this is a very important victory for us at home. After that, we got to the next round of the FA Cup, the 5th round. We beat Derby here 2-0. Callum Slattery getting his first goal for the football club, and also Simon Makastad also getting his first goal for the football club. So both of those young players came in the absence of some of our more experienced campaigners, and proved that they can step up and be an influence in the first team. So I was very happy with the performance of Slattery, and man of the match performance, by the way, from Simon Makastad. Obviously, he's going to have an increased role at the end of the season now because of the sell of Martial. As you can see, he is very talented. 3-star current ability, 4-star potential over time, and I really think he could have an impact by the end of the season. Alright, and our solitary defeat here in January, a very disappointing 2-1 defeat at the Hawthorns against West Brom. Arnautovic and an own goal from Diallo gave them a 2-0 lead, and we absolutely battered them, to be fair, but we just couldn't put the ball in the back end then. Justin Kluivert did get a solitary goal for us in the 63rd minute. They kind of gave us hope, but we never did enough really to earn a point. But we did bounce back against Cardiff here, a narrow 1-0 win. Should have been 2-0. Justin Kluivert missed a penalty in the 91st minute. A goal from Jack Grealish in the 59th was just about enough to get the job done. Didn't really take our chances. We created a lot of them, but unfortunately we just can't seem to find the back end of the net when we need to. Possession was encouraging though, 70% compared to Cardiff's 30%. Overall, it was a good performance. We just need to score more goals. All right, and it takes us all the way up to the game today against Manchester United, and it's an extremely talented Manchester United team from top to bottom. They've added the likes of Jadon Sancho, as we talked about in the last time we played them, just an amazing young talent on the left side of midfield. So much so they've even listed Alexis Sanchez. I actually thought about signing him too, believe it or not, but his wage demands were absolutely astronomical, more so than Aubameyang's, believe it or not. Aubameyang, sorry. Okay, I learned to pronounce the name correctly. I've always had a tough time with it, but anyway, still a very talented team. Jesse Lingard can't even get a starting spot in the squad. He comes off the bench. I mean, that says all about the quality Manchester United have in their favour. So it's going to be a very, very tough game today. They are third place in the table. If you look, we are fourth place. We are 3 points behind them, 3 points ahead of Chelsea as well. No matter what happens today's game, we're going to keep our spot in the fourth place there. But I'd love to get something out of this game against Manchester United. Just give the players a little bit of confidence after selling 3 key players for us, like Diop, Toljan, and obviously Martial. To lose those players are huge players for us. To get something at Manchester United would certainly be a confidence boost to myself and to the rest of the team. Alright, so here is the brand new look Southampton side. Obviously, the back line will be pretty familiar to you. Angus Gunn's obviously giving me a goal. Bertrand left back. Diallo, Hoyt through the middle of defence. Danilo at right wing back. Wanyama and Vecino are going to be the midfielders. As you can see, it's a much stronger midfield than we had at the beginning of the season. And Ndidi and Gambin, as good a players as they are, Wanyama and Vecino at the moment are just slightly better than they are. Midfield, you see Draxler is going to get his debut today on the right-hand side of midfield. Justin Kluivert's been playing very well since Martial's left. He's moved to the left side and done a great job so far, so he keeps a spot there. Jack Grealish, of course, will play behind Erling Haaland. They've struck up a pretty decent partnership, and obviously we're looking to try and get the most of that today. Aubameyang has to settle for a place on the bench, as you can see, and obviously we still have Alexander Lacazette after his return from injury too, so we have plenty of options, plenty of skill on the bench, plenty of chances for these guys to try and make an impact today. On the left-hand side, you'll see the superbly talented Manchester United team. Kingsley Bello was one of those players, by the way, that actually came through the Southampton Youth Academy, but unfortunately was scalped by Manchester United before even had a chance to sign him. And I'm actually going to get some money for him. I think like £200,000, I think, after playing today, whatever the case is. Very, very talented young left-wing back, and certainly a player for the future. You notice as they've still got Lindelof and Bailey in the middle of the fence. Pretty weak backline, not going to lie. I think we can exploit this, and but unfortunately the midfield is pretty terrifying, and of course they're led by Harry Kane, who's still a superb talent. 70 goals in 69 appearances for England. That's not a bad record, is it, Harry? Anyway, let's get this game going. Obviously, if we get something out of this game, I mean, at the moment I'll take a draw. Honestly, that would definitely go a long way to helping me build confidence in this new look Saints side. It really is a huge blow for me to lose those 3 players. I know I said at the beginning of this series that I wanted to avoid being a selling club, and that still rings true, but some things are just completely out of your hands, especially when squad dynamics are as important as they are in now. But well, there you have it. Just got to move forward, got to try to make the most of the situation. I'm happy to get Draxler and Aubameyang in the side, so hopefully those guys can fill the void of losing some of the talent that we lost. All right, first out of the first half, and it's taken to the 42nd minute to happen. It's been a very, very tight affair between the two sides. Neither team really taking over this game, which is a little bit surprising, considering, you know, at Old Trafford, it's always a tough place to go, but there's an early chance as Kane, he gets stuff in the box, plays to Jadon Sancho. That's a good challenge for Danilo. Here's maybe a chance if Grealish can get that, but he can't. Unfortunately, slow us to react. There's Neves back to Pancic. Good interception there, but Cassie brings it back. That's a good clearance. Haaland's going to hold the ball up here, hopefully, and he does well. Here's Justin Kluivert now, running at the Man United defence. That's a terrible ball for Justin Kluivert. And a chance now for Manchester United. Suso, Kane's all alone in the box, but he goes to Sancho, and there is Kessie. He makes it 1-0 to United. Second goal of the season against us for Frank Kessie. 13th goal of the season for him as well. Terrible mistake there from Justin Kluivert. Had a chance of hitting him on the break, but I don't know why Kluivert went so far back. He played a blind ball into the middle of the midfield, and unfortunately gave it away in a dangerous area, and Man United are going to make us pay if we make silly mistakes like that. All right, halftime here, and it's 1-0 to United, obviously through a mistake from Justin Kluivert. Disappointing as that was. We're still in this game, and we're actually controlling possession, which is really great. 61% to the 39. That's actually a pretty good stat to have at Old Trafford, controlling possession. We haven't really created any chances to go with it, but at least controlling possession is kind of keeping us in this game. So Going in the second half, we'll take the same team out there. Obviously, I have Aubameyang on the bench. I obviously also can move Draxler to the left. I can play around. I also have Lacazette as well too. So I do have options in my favour. We'll see how the second half starts though. Anyway, here's Danilo, back to Ficino, back to Danilo again. Gets the byline. Oh, that's a great challenge from Kessie. Kane holds the ball up well. There's Suso. Now he's through on goal. He's beaten Bertrand. Suso 1-on-1 with Gunn, and it's well deflected there from Wesley Hoyt, making his return to the starting lineup today. Alright, so here's Pancic from the corner. Let's defend this well. Ball is semi-cleared from Hoyt. There's Ruben Neves. Back to Pancic again. Just got to do enough here to hold Manchester United at bay. And we'll still be in this game. Alright, Sancho, good interception from Hoyt. Neves plays it back to Harry Kane. He's through on goal off the inside of the post from Harry Kane. This seems to be in the stars that every time we play Harry Kane, he finds it back in the net. He's worse than Florian Andoni, to be honest with you. Anyway, here's Pancic now. It's a great free kick and a really good save there from Angus Gunn. We're holding on now. Man United certainly have taken over this game in the second half. Yeah, we know they didn't cross the line. Anyway, here's Pancic from the corner. Defend this well, please. As Ruben Neves, and it ball bounces around the box and it falls to Lindelof. He's made it 2-0 to United, and it really is an uphill battle now. Alright, changes to be made here. Lacazette's going to come on. So is Aubameyang for his debut. Play him as a poacher naturally. Lacazette as a right midfielder. He's done a good job for me so far this season in that role. I'll also take off Victor Wanyama here and bring on Ndidi, I think. Sure, why not? We'll go for that. 3 changes. Obviously 2-0 down here at Old Trafford. It's looking like we're going to come away with nothing here. Alright, 82nd minute here, and it's still 2-0 to Manchester United. We haven't created anything, but here's a chance now. Aubameyang's through on goal, and a good save there from David De Gea. First opportunity for Mr. Aubameyang to get on the score sheet for the Saints. That's a good ball. Lukaku's through, and he makes it 3-0 just to complete the embarrassment. It's been an absolute shambles here in the second half for Saints. We just haven't got into it at all. We still managed to control possession, but did absolutely nothing with it. And that's a poor piece of defending there between Diallo and Bertrand there. Let Harry Kane bring it down far too easy. And Lukaku did enough to find the near post. Alright, full-time whistle has gone here at Old Trafford, and it's finished a 3-0 defeat against Manchester United. Disappointing performance here in the second half. Obviously let us down. We actually played well enough in the first half, but that error from Justin Kluivert really kind of pushed the game in Manchester United's direction. And losing here 3-0. I expected to lose, to be honest with you. I was hoping for a draw, expecting to lose, but that's a big blow because obviously that separates us now between second and third place. All right, so we'll try and put this behind us now. In the next episode, we take on Fenerbahce. We'll do the first leg and the second leg in that episode. We'll do the Europa double leg like we did last season. And yeah, hopefully this team can gel. Obviously, there are a couple of new faces in there. It's going to take a little bit of time for me to work out what the kind of best role is and how to fit them in. But and obviously, it takes a little bit of time for them to get into tactic familiarity and things like that. So my hope is we can turn this around. We can put that result against Man United behind us. And we have a chance to get a few results ahead of us now. We play Watford and Bournemouth at the end of February here, and obviously that's a great chance for us to pick up 6 points at the end of the and obviously we got the youth intake too, fingers crossed when we get a wonder kid out of that. Then we take on Arsenal. Liverpool. Arsenal have been very poor this season, by the way. They're 11th place in the table. Liverpool, obviously they're third, they're doing well enough, but the run-in, we can definitely certainly pick up points. We still have to play Chelsea, of course. That's a huge game. They currently sit 5th place in the table, 1 spot behind us. This really could be the key game here as far as our Champions League hope goes. But thanks so much for watching the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below how you guys are enjoying these series. Obviously, my hands are largely tied. I've forgotten the players going out of the club. Obviously, I brought some exciting talent in. Yeah, just let me know how you guys are enjoying the series or not. I appreciate your feedback, and obviously I appreciate you guys supporting the series. It's been a great story so far. Been a great adventure, and hopefully we'll continue it into next season. Still in the champion. Well, hopefully we'll be in the Champions League. But thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys soon. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.